Hi, it's Jonathan from Some Talented People. We're here at episode 4, the ideas about how to succeed in this marketplace as it's evolved. And hopefully you'll go away from this with some ideas, and we'd love to see your comments below as to what you have tried or what you're going to try.
Folks, hi again. A quick session today. We're going to look at some ideas to actually take forward, and especially if you're a SME owner and where you want to get to over the next period of time, being 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Dylan, what's your take on that in terms of some ideas to actually keep your foot on the gas and try and succeed?
First of all, don't give up. Surround yourself with people that are got the winning attitude, or in that way, keep yourself energized during this time. There is always opportunity. Keep looking for that opportunity. Put one foot in front of the other. Keep going. There's no reason why you can't change or pivot. If it's not working, you can change or pivot, but it's very different to giving up or stopping. And that's the takeaway from it. And also, less is more. Sometimes we just got to sit back and say, well, you've got so much on the plate, or so many fingers in the pie, too many cooks are in the broth. Handpick some really, really good stuff. Less is more. Focus on it and make that work.
I'd like to actually pick up on that because, so as I said in a previous episode, I used to work for Yellow Pages. So I, over a period of a couple of years, dealt with 3,000 SME businesses. And a couple of things that you brought up, and the point is that less is more. There was a belief, and that belief has continued, that a service provider needs to offer everything to everyone. So they either have to hold stock or they have to learn many, many different things. And the reality is the micro niching. So search engine optimization and website mentality is moving towards micro niching, because things like Amazon and eBay, the reason they're powerful is because the person can find exactly what they're looking for. So it's a change of perspective, where that rather than offering everything, you go, I'm targeting one thing or two things.
Yeah, and you're correct. I call it focus. What are you focusing on, and why are you focusing there? You as an individual, you can't, and even a business, you can't have 3 or 4 different focuses. Just your personal capacity is not going to handle it. There's not going to be enough hours in the day, and your resources to actually be shooting all over the marketplace. So you've really got to continually look at, and many authors have said it over time, but people have this autopilot, or it's in the DNA, growth. We must just grow. But the trick is grow with the right scalability and the right cash flow. And that gets back to really knowing your market very well, really looking at your approach and how you approach that market to actually be different. I call the word, to be really unique today. And what does it take? And as Dylan said, you've got to have those good people who are costing pounds or dollars or rands or whatever it is. And it's getting that perception across to the client in terms of what their expectations are in dealing with you. And if it's just a price relationship, it becomes a grudge relationship over time, one way or the other, and you fail. You can't sustain it. Personally, business is very hard to sustain that.
I honestly feel I always live by the words: if you everything to everyone, then you are special to no one. And I take that to business as well, is you can't be everything to everybody and offer everything. Do what you do it well, and do it properly.
I think also what I'd like to add, listening to you both there, is something about the way in which you seek out or seek to pivot, as Dylan's talked about. So I find that a lot of people that I've dealt with, so before COVID, I used to be at business networking meetings, and I met a lot of people that were nice people with good ideas, even good ideas that they were good at. But almost never did I meet people that had a plan written down. They didn't know what they were hoping to achieve, by when, and what it would mean financially. And so they worked and worked and worked and worked and worked, but ultimately failed because the planning wasn't there. Now, my background is market research. And so before I even begin to contemplate an idea, I just do a couple of searches to see what things are true. And I'm not even very much into the technology. I haven't got a smartphone, but I might. So in England, we've got the Office for National Statistics, and that can give you ideas about the types of business, the size of market, the population growth, the split between females and males. So I think researching your idea is important too. Guys, what do you think?
Well, I strongly believe what you said by writing that down. Every plan, whether it's a personal business plan, everything, it only becomes real once you've taken pen to paper and put it down. It's always a good start, and it's always something to go back to. So if you've got a business plan and you want to take it further, write it down, put it down. It centers you and it brings you back to what your original plan. Doesn't mean it can't be changed. Doesn't mean it can't be manipulated.
Indeed.
But it's always a start. It's roots. It's a strong root. So yes, I totally agree with you. And that's possibly where a lot of people do fail. They haven't, whether it's a business plan or they've noted it for themselves. I even take this into my personal write down business, write down personal, put it down on paper. Your chances of achieving it are 80% more than if it's not written down.
Excellent. Guy?
Yeah, I just think at a business level, it's having some key objectives and that old word management by objectives. At the end of the day, our objective has got to be quantifiable, etc. Have a time frame. I want to do X over this period of time. Then the action plan and how to do that. You just keep it simple. You've got to have it written down, not in piles and thick things like this for the SME market. It's got to be short, to the point, brief. And especially, a lot of SME owners are driver personalities. Some are driver and analytical, a lot of driver expressive. So they've got to express themselves on some paper with some plans. And someone, as we spoke in a previous session, you've got to have a mentor. There's so many SME businesses that think they can just start up. Look, a lot started up since COVID, a lot have failed since then. But you need to get this momentum where someone's doing some checks and balances, because in a startup, or even where you've been for a couple of years, you've got to navigate, and it's about questioning your thinking. And saying, no, you're actually cocking it up, Joe. This is the reason why you need to do X, Y, Z. But look, that's a personal view.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes left. Jonathan, would you like to add in terms of some ideas for success?
Simply, I would say that I seek purpose and I seek passion. And I seek that before I seek to make money. I am lucky in that I am insulated from some of the horrors of COVID, so I can afford to take that time. But by being purpose driven, it means that whatever I have to give, I'm happy to give.
Yeah, and Dylan, your take? Because Jonathan's obviously comfortable with that he's found his purpose. It might change in time, but now the next short-term period, in your view, Dill?
Agreed there. It comes back to that why. We've had our why, now we've got to find another why, but it's still finding that purpose within that why and sticking to your true values within that. Because if you're just doing whatever just because, you're not adding value, and adding value is very important as well.
Okay, let's hope that some of those tips you can use and some of them you can think about, maybe go to bed, have a little dream about them tonight and see what comes out of it. Thanks very much for watching. We'll be doing more shows, and we're also looking for collaborators to be on these shows. So if you have a perspective on business and you'd like to let us know, then please do. All right, take care. I'll see you again.